Hi, my name is Todd Lamley and welcome to Cisco Firepower Threat Defense. In this section, I'm going to show you how to install a fresh Cisco Firepower Management Center, or FMC, on your vCenter. Let's go ahead and take a look. The first thing that we want to do is go out and download the software, obviously. So I'm at this place where we can download the FMC. So if we look here, I can see that I'm at Product Security Firewalls, Firewall Management, Virtual Appliances. Now when we come here to Virtual Appliances, there's some different ones. So when you get Firepower modules and then Virtual Appliances here, sometimes it's hard to find, so I want to show it to you. And then we want to go to Firesite, right? And then we'll choose our code. Like if you want to go back to 622, I don't recommend it. They have 623 here, but 623 here. And what we want is this guy here. Now, I'm on vCenter, right? So I would download this. It's about 3 gigs, and it will show up here. It was actually rather large, just over 2 gigs here. And I'm going to end up with this file here. And then what I did is I right-clicked and said extract here, which gave me this file. And then I said extract here. Now I ended up with 5 files here. And notice I downloaded the files for my ASAs. I'm going to erase and make FTD boxes in another module. But in this case here, so I downloaded those as well. In this case here, I deleted the files. I want the 2 that say VI and the one that says disk 1. And I deleted the other ones based on what I use for my vCenter. So I'm going to come over here to my vCenter. This is actually not hard at all. I think the hardest part is finding the files, right? If you guys know what I want to deploy the template here. Remember, I'm not upgrading, I'm deploying. If you can deploy fresh, great. So here's my 3 files. I'm going to shift and hold the last file and choose all 3. Say open, come in here, rename this FMC 21. I don't have enough FMCs. I have a lot of pods for class. And then choose your host. And then we'll look at the information that it says it needs. This takes a couple minutes just to validate that you have what it needs. So just 1 minute. Now yours might be faster if you have some awesome UCS chassis, that cost $1 million or whatever. But I buy my stuff on eBay. Anyways, I'm going to accept, and then we're going to look at put it onto the disk. Select our storages next. Okay. Whoops, I got to press the next. And then first I'm going to pick the disk. Notice I have plenty of room here. And for me, I need to thin provision it. I would recommend that. However, if you have plenty of disk space, you may, but this isn't a vCenter class. I'm going to then choose the VLAN. Now I've got my devices in a management VLAN. My ports on my FTD boxes are into the management ports, and my management hosts are in there. So we're going to put everything in one VLAN. I'm not going to configure anything here except the IP address. Didn't even really need the default gateway. The reason why is because I want to show you when you go in what you get. I can configure most of it here, and then the device would just come up, right? So I'm not going to do the search domains or the password. And now, so when I do that, I'm going to double check, especially my password, and make sure I'm in the right VLAN so I can get there from my management host. And now it's just going to run for a couple minutes, depending on what type of server you have. Mine takes a little bit longer. Now this actually comes up, even on my servers, relatively quickly, but when you power on, it takes it took about 20 minutes to boot up because it's actually doing the whole install at that point. Now let's go ahead and run out to one that I already did, which is 19. And I just installed it. There it is right there. But what I want to go to is this guy right here. So notice I'm in a management host on the same VLAN, and I typed in the IP address of the one I installed, and it's going to come up with this at first. You can put a certificate in here later if you want to show you where. Now this is the fresh install. I didn't put anything on it, so it's very simple to install this stuff. The password is this. I'm putting it on the same line here so you can see it. Same thing as when we do our FTD boxes, when you do a fresh install admin123 or even ASA with Firepower. So I'm going to come under here, admin123. Now this takes about, well, actually this only takes a minute to come up because it's going to bring up the splash page, which takes about 5 minutes to configure and then go out and do it. So notice it's going to take a couple minutes, but I'm going to get a splash page here that's going to ask me to configure some stuff. And we won't do it all again because that'll take the fun out of going out and showing you how to do it. Now, the one thing really you have to put in here is your password. I'll make you do that. So I'm going to change the password from admin123. And in this point here, I'm going to do the fully qualified domain name. And most of this is in here from me doing this on another one. And I'm going to put my servers in, backup server, and then my Google one, of course. I'm not going to do the rest because I want to show you where you would do it in the system config. You absolutely would do your NTP server here. You could do the rest of these here as well, but I just don't recommend those anyways. You can put your license key in there if you wanted, but we'll do that all by hand inside. So I'm going to say apply, and this is going to take about 5 or 6 minutes. Okay, but that's how easy it is to configure FMC, and then it's going to come up. And in the next section, what I'm going to do is show you where this ends up and how to configure all this by hand.